I'm fully in frame now. Okay. Hey friends, welcome back to Beer and Beauty. It's Kasha. Today's libation of the day is water because it's actually pretty early. It's not quite 1 o'clock yet and I actually have to leave pretty soon to go to work. I don't know if shooting this video right now is going to work, but well, we shall try. It is January 4th when I'm shooting this video, and for the year of 2019, I was on a no-buy year, and that no-buy year is now over. So, what comes next? I want to do a big video about what I learned from the no-buy year, and even like talk about how my habits have changed and what how much money I saved, how much money I made from doing the no-buy year, and how it's affected other areas of my life. But as many of you guys already know, I'm in the middle of a big move. This might be one of the last videos I shoot inside this apartment. I think I might be shooting one more video after this. I'm going to shoot my empties video before I hit the road. But I'm going to be moving to California, so a lot of things are changing in 2020, including the fact that I'm no longer going to be doing a no-buy year. The no-buy year is over. And what's really interesting is we're several days into the new year already, and I'm not tempted whatsoever to buy any new makeup or anything like that. But I think I still have more learning to do. You know, my no-buy year was obviously inspired by Hannah Louise Poston, and you guys can probably guess what's going to happen next from this video, especially because I'm probably going to mention it in the title or in the description or something. But for 2020, I'm excited to do a budget. I'm going to be doing a makeup budget, and you know, I'm not going to be copying everything that Hannah does because, well, let's go ahead and start talking about it all, shall we? And title credits. So I have learned to, over the course of 2019 and doing this no-buy year, which, by the way, I didn't do perfectly, so stay tuned to hear all about it in my thoughts about the no-buy year video, which will probably come at the end of January, beginning of February. But I learned to control myself a lot. And a lot of that project was so eye-opening. And as a result, I get to, because I was, took on this project, I get to tick off one of my dreams off my list of bucket list things I'd like to do with my life, which is I'm moving to Los Angeles, and I can't wait to jettison my career into another level. I'm so excited to live in a big city. I've always wanted to live in a big city ever since I was a child, and Hollywood, I mean, what else can I say? It's happening. But at a cost, even though I stand to make more money living in Los Angeles down the road, this month of January is going to hurt a little bit. Of course, I have my savings, but I'm not going to be making a ton of money this month. I do have to leave for work very shortly, and it's going to be one of my last gigs that I do here in Massachusetts, but I'm going to be leaving for that shortly, so I'm going to try to get through this video quickly. My life is going to be really expensive the next couple months as I'm getting situated in Los Angeles. So a budget is necessary not only because of my shopping addiction, but just because of my life circumstances right now. This new city is going to be more expensive to live in. So it's a perfect time for me to start this project. It's a new year. I feel really excited about all the changes that are happening, and I'm ready and excited to take on this new challenge. So, without further ado, let's talk about the budget. The main thing you guys may guess that the budget pertains to is going to be beauty products. Now, I've always been a pretty thrifty person in a lot of ways. I've always been pretty thrifty when it comes to my energy expenditure. All summer long, I don't really like to put on the air conditioning because I don't like paying for electricity. And in the winter, every time, as much as I hate being cold, I am really conscious of how high I set the heat and When I go grocery shopping, this is something that I learned a little bit more strongly throughout the no buy year. But I'm pretty thrifty about and realistic about my grocery shopping. I only buy things that I think I'm gonna eat. And every time I'm getting ready to go on a trip, I try to eat whatever is hanging out in my cabinets. When I empty this apartment, I'm not gonna have to throw away too much food because I don't buy too much food. I try to be very realistic about what I eat. And when it comes to my clothes are pretty utilitarian a lot of the time. Usually you can find me wearing a t-shirt, I'm wearing jeans, and that's how I usually dress for work and in my day-to-day life. Though I think I'd like to get a little bit more fashionable this year, but we'll think about that later on. But clothing, homewares, food, even utilities are not places where I'm liable to spend a lot. However, even throughout the no-buy year, I've been tempted often. So I know that going into this new year, even though right now I feel like I'm almost healed, it's been almost 5 days into the new year, and I still haven't been tempted, haven't been thinking about what I want to buy, I haven't been tempted by anything. But I know that could change if I let myself run wild too quickly. So, for beauty products, specifically, I am giving myself a $100 budget per month. And this is going to be really tough because I am a makeup artist, and sometimes, and the things that fit into the beauty category for beauty products are broad. Sometimes the products that fit into this category are products that I will need to stay healthy, such as toothpaste, body wash, shampoo, even like ointment, stuff like that. So I have addressed a couple of instances and how I'm going to take on this budget. For the most part, the budget is going to it's going to consist of all beauty categories. It's going to consist of makeup, skincare, hair care, body care, and even health and beauty like toothpaste and floss. And the number 100, that's what I'm allowed to use every month. Whatever I don't use can be rolled over to the next month. But because there's health and beauty products involved in these categories, there are a couple exceptions where I'm allowed to break the budget. Namely, if I run out of something towards the end of the month and I need it for health. So, say I used up my budget, but I ran out of toothpaste. In order to avoid tooth decay, I'll go ahead and buy some toothpaste. But only if I've truly run out of it. So, it seems like with this rule, I will never inside my entire life pan completely an entire palette. That's just never gonna happen, especially because even when I declutter half of my eyeshadow palettes, I still have 50. So I'm never gonna run out of eyeshadow. It's just not gonna happen. But it's very possible and practical that I would run out of razors, soap, body care basically is what body care and oral care is what I'm liable to, break the budget for. But as much as possible, I will use the budget for those things. So I will always be mindful of if I'm running low on body wash, if I'm running low on toothpaste, and try to use the budget I can. But in an emergency situation, I am allowed to break the budget for those emergency situations. The other exception is when I need to buy tools for work. So, as you guys know, because I bring it up all the time, plus I have all my kit videos down below. If you guys want to check them out, I am a professional makeup artist, professional hairstylist, not as much, but I think I only did like 2 hair gigs this year, but I do have a hair kit, I do hairstyling sometimes too. I'm a professional face painter, and I do special effects makeup. So that requires a lot of makeup, hair care, skincare, and I'm liable to run out of things in those categories all the time. And if I specifically need something for a job because I've run out of it, I am allowed to break the budget for that. But Same goes as the health and beauty category. For the work category, I will try to be mindful about what I'm about to run out of and use the budget to the best of my ability. But it is possible, since I'm moving to this new city with all these new opportunities, that I will encounter situations occasionally where I have to buy tools for a very specific job. So say I get hired to paint golden cheetah body paint on a bunch of models. I might not have enough golden paint in my kit. So for that specific situation, even if I have expended my entire budget, to make that job happen, I will allow myself to break the budget in order to invest into this gig, basically. If I stand to make more money by buying a product specifically for a gig, then I will do that, but I am not allowed to buy eyeshadow palettes specifically for videos for YouTube. This YouTube channel is growing a lot lately, which is awesome and amazing, but it's still a very little baby channel, and most of my videos make less than $2. So I am not gonna buy an eyeshadow palette and bank on making $100 off a video and making my money back, because that's probably not going to happen. Not in the early part of the year, at least. I can use my budget towards products to make videos with, but I'm not allowed to break my budget for products to make videos with. So that's one of the rules. So those are the basic exceptions. And one more rule when it comes to the $100 number for the budget per month is I'm only allowed to buy one eyeshadow palette a month. I know eyeshadow palettes are kind of my weak point, and if I'm budgeting, I am liable to kind of use that budget on new exciting eyeshadow palettes because it's my favorite thing in makeup. After doing my declutter series and also my no-buy year, I have learned that I feel guilty if I don't use an eyeshadow palette a lot. So I don't want to end up buying all these eyeshadow palettes that I don't end up using generously, basically. Getting good use out of. Not necessarily hit pan, but easily use it more than 10 times. And that's not even that much either, you know? Ideally, if I'm going to buy an eyeshadow palette, I should not buy it unless I think I'm going to use it like 25 times, 50 times, 100 times. But I am making this a strong rule, knowing what my weaknesses are, that I'm only allowed to buy one eyeshadow palette per month. However, if I skip 1 month and I don't buy an eyeshadow palette and I didn't surpass my budget, I can buy 2 eyeshadow palettes the next month as long as I have the budget allotted for it. So say I had rollover money from budget money that I haven't spent the month before, and I want to buy 2 eyeshadow palettes that are both $60. I can buy them both as long as I have rollover money from the next month, as well as the new budget from the new month. So say like if my budget happens to have $140 in it, I can buy those 2 $60 eyeshadow palettes as long as I didn't buy an eyeshadow palette before, the month before. I hope that makes sense. That's a little complicated, but I understand that rule. I hope you guys understand too. And I think that kind of breaks down the beauty portion of my new budget. Hey, it's editing me. I forgot to mention that another exception to the budget is BoxyCharm, because BoxyCharm is already prepaid for the year, so that is not part of the beauty budget. So gifts for friends and family are not included in the budget as well. So I'm allowed to buy gifts for people. However, I do want to consult another area of my spending that needs to be monitored this year. You know, I talked about at the beginning of the video all the different ways. I am pretty good with my money. You know, I'm very practical about what I will use and whether or not I should spend my money on it. When it comes to clothes, utilities, food, homewares, those things, I'm pretty practical about those things. However, an area I find myself spending lavishly on often is, you guys might be able to guess, and I'm making this into one category even though it's two different things, but booze, or beer, wine, alcohol in general, both out and in, alcohol while eating at restaurants and breweries, and alcohol while that I bring home to feature in a video, for instance. And another aspect that I decided to lump together into one lump sum, just to clarify things for me in my own head, is dining. I am a foodie. I am a food and beverage enthusiast, and sometimes it is not unlike me to spend $50 on a meal, maybe even $100 on a meal if I'm traveling, and I just think that this is going to be special. It's going to be a special meal. And I'm liable to get a little bit out of control with my spending, especially in a place like LA. Los Angeles has really amazing dining, really amazing food. They've got amazing sushi, amazing tacos, amazing Korean food, Korean barbecue. Not to mention amazing beer and wine. Have really amazing Japanese food, really amazing food from all around the world. They've got, great donuts, great bagels, great breakfast, juice, coffee, all types of stuff. For this budget, this second part of this two-part budget is going to be for my booze and dining. I'm calling it booze and dining. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a colloquial, kind of easy to understand what this category is kind of name. And that budget is generous, but realistic for me. And that budget is going to be $250 a month. And I've thought about this number long and hard because earlier in the year, I tried to give myself a $100 a month beer and wine budget, basically. And that included beer and wine that I would bring home, as well as beer and wine that I would have out, at restaurants and bars and breweries. And it was very hard to stick with, especially because of that eating out portion of it. I am really good at thriftily eating out in restaurants. You can save money by sharing a meal with a friend, or you can save money by eating out for lunch rather than dinner. Oftentimes, you can have the same meal during lunch as well as dinner, but it'll be a little bit smaller and more realistic for you to eat and cheaper at lunch rather than at dinner. So, those are different ways that I've learned to save some money. So something I'd like to add to that idea is that I know how to continue to eat out, but also do it thriftily. So I need to learn to exercise those muscles a little bit more mindfully, I suppose. I do want to continue to be able to eat out. I don't want to cut this out of my budget completely because I am someone that is a big proponent of experiences, and eating out and going to breweries are some of my favorite experiences, and I don't want to deprive myself of that. But I don't want to compromise my future either. So I want to set myself for as much success in this big new city as possible. And I'll be using this opportunity to flex those muscles to use my thrifty eating out habits as much as possible. The truth is, even though I know how to do it thriftily, if I'm in a situation such as I'm traveling or it's just been a long week, I sometimes am liable to spend like a rich lady at restaurants and breweries and bars. Like it's not unlike me to buy a shellfish tower that's like $100. It's not unlike me to buy a $25 burger. It's not unlike me to buy a hen of the woods with deep woods Scandinavian truffle and a lobster bisque on the side. Like really fancy, out of control foodie stuff. And I love that stuff, but I have to budget for it. I have to realize that this is a once in a while treat, not something I deserve to have whenever I want. I have to watch myself. That's why we're here. But what can really blow your expenses while eating out is adding a drink to that meal. And this is something that has become such a reality for me in my adult life, especially as somebody that is an enthusiast of food as well as an enthusiast of beer and wine. I do want to watch myself. I do want to keep this area of my spending under control. And I think I stand to say, like, lose a little weight by doing this budget too, you know? If I'm being a little bit more mindful about how I'm spending on eating out as well as alcohol, I'm going to be more mindful about both my wallet as well as my, you know, food intake. So, and I do want to spend a little bit more time learning how to make certain foods at home. Like, I've been talking about how I want to learn how to make my own sushi for years now, because it's something I eat sushi out at least twice a week. Of course, I usually get like a lunch special. Sushi lunch specials tend to be pretty cheap. Around here, I can get 2 rolls and a miso soup for like $9, so that's not that expensive. And it's cheaper than it would be at the grocery store. But, you know, I think it's time that I spend this year, one of my goals for 2020 is finally learn to make my own sushi. Just because I eat it so often and I love it so much. It's my favorite food. Everybody should learn how to make their favorite food. I'm talking a lot. I need some water. I need some of the libation of the day. And I think this is going to be difficult for me to start. I think this category is going to be harder for me because it's, for one, newer. And all of 2019, I was spending pretty lavishly on these things. I did try to budget at certain points, but I still continued to kind of break my budget, spend lavishly, and now I just need rules. I need to stay within the budget. In January is going to be hard because I am traveling cross country. I am driving. So as I'm driving, I'm not going to have access to a kitchen, so I'm going to have to spend a lot of money eating out. I'm going to try to pick budget options. And for the length of my time in January, I'm going to try not to, you know, go to Animal in LA or go to Korean barbecue because that's going to blow my budget real quick. And also, a little bit of info that I'm just going to throw in here really quickly is I am considering trying out a month of sobriety. Maybe I might even give up beer and wine for Lent. We'll see how it goes. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a month or if I'm just going to do Lent. I think Lent works because Lent will end on Easter, and I have a big cruise gig on Easter, so it'll be nice to reward myself for doing a good job on Lent on Easter. And I also love Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is one of my favorite holidays. I love the spectacle of it. I love the vibrant colors, the food, the energy, the partying, the celebration of it all. And I'd like to celebrate Mardi Gras in all its forms. So I think Lent is actually, you know, I'm not a deeply religious person, but I do respect religion. And I have participated in Lent for years. I think I've always done some version of Lent. I don't think I've ever like skipped a year, maybe once or twice. But that could be interesting too, and it would be a little bit longer than a month. It would be 40 days. But Lent is interesting at the same time because that means like Sundays are actually kind of a cheat day during Lent. So I don't know. It's something I still have to think about. But yeah, I think that is everything, guys. I think I'm going to be downloading the app Mint. I haven't done that yet, but apparently it's an app that helps you budget as well. And I plan to do a bunch of check-in videos letting you guys know about how this project is going and what I'm learning and what are the areas of it that are hard and what areas are surprisingly easy. You know, I wish I did that with my no buy year, but it was hard to stay motivated on YouTube because I wasn't monetized, so I was just kind of making all the videos for the love of it. And even now that I'm monetized, like I said at the beginning of the video, all my videos make less than $2, or most of my videos make less than $2. So, I don't know. I'm really excited about maybe even with this budget, documenting it on YouTube and maybe growing on YouTube a little bit. That'd be fun. I've actually really learned to love YouTube, especially in the last like 6 months. I've really started to have a lot of fun on YouTube. Actually, not true. Even in the early part of the year, I did a bunch of videos just for fun, and I want to do a lot more videos just for fun. I definitely want to do more lifestyle videos and even some finance videos, because I am starting to get really interested into finance. You know, part of the reason I'm doing this budget is to maintain my odds of survival living in a big, expensive city, but also, you know, I want to expand my portfolio. I want to become more of a financially stable adult in 2020. I want to invest more, and before I can invest, I need to save. So that's where we're kind of at with that. I can't wait to check in with you guys and let you guys know how it's going. So far, we're doing really good. I did buy... Ooh, actually, I've been eating out a lot this month, so I have to start keeping track of how much I'm eating out, because I have to be careful not to overspend. You know, that's the whole idea. So I'm going to be really mindful, and I'm going to be checking in with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you join me on this journey, at least by watching me, and maybe you can learn something from this journey. I learned so much from Hannah's project, so everybody check out Hannah Louise Poston's channel. She's so articulate and almost poetic, and I learned so much from her channel, and I just want to say thank you, Hannah. You're doing important work out there, and I'm learning a lot from you. You're helping me, and I hope this project helps some of you guys. For nothing else, I hope it's fun to watch. And yeah, I think that's it. I gotta get ready to go. I got 10 minutes before I have to be out the door. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll have links down below, my merch, some of the videos I might have mentioned, some of my favorite videos I've done recently, my social media, all the stuff. And I hope you subscribe for more budget content, more decluttered content, more living in Los Angeles content. I'm gonna be doing a vlog soon, so that could be fun. And I hope you're having a super happy new year. I hope you're excited about the new decade, the roaring 20s. And I hope to see you next time. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. Until next time, cheers. Bye!